Alright, we're back in the garage with the 1986 Omni GLH project, going from naturally aspirated 110 horsepower on your best day at the crank to a little bit of fuel injection, turbo action here. The garage is a mess, everything is just strewn about, tools, electrical components, everything, but we are making a lot of progress. The harness is fairly well done except for the fact that I got to get a different pump because the carbureted one, obviously totally different. So we'll get that going, run some fuel lines, and from there we're just about set. Got a couple electrical things to do under the hood still, but not much at all at this point. And we've gone ahead, I put in a different camshaft, and things are looking a lot better. I'll go ahead and update you. Let's go ahead and look under the hood. Alright, we're looking a little bit different here under the hood now, as you can probably tell. Nothing too crazy, but at the same time we've actually got a proper turbo valve cover in place, if not bolted down. We got the turbo distributor in, wired up, plug wires. I'll go ahead and probably tilt the camera forward so that you can see I've got an alternator and a water pump in there now. Really just have to set the cam timing and put the pulley on and place the power steering pump on that side of the motor. Everything will be pretty much wrapped up. Over here you can see I've actually got connectors that are in place, going places. Now these wires just have to be kind of tidied up, put some loom over them, and then finalize their locations. The PDC here, the fuse block, whatever you want to call it, it's pretty well wired up. I've got all the relays needed to make the car actually run in place. I need to still get some terminals and some wires so that I can do the headlights and the fog lights. So I've got those still to do, and I guess fairly important there, right? But that's going to be about it. I'm going to put the map sensor and then the barrel reed solenoid and the probably the wastegate solenoid over here. I'm not going to run very many of them, eliminating most of the factory unnecessary components in this. Of course, you'll notice that there's no wiring or wiring harness or anything that's going to go over to the other side of the motor, but that's great. So lightens it up a little bit, makes it all a little tighter, even if it looks pretty nasty right now. Alright, as I said, I got the turbo valve cover in here, so that's kind of nice. One I polished up previously, just a couple hours in that thing, a little bit of time invested there, but that's okay. Did it the hard way. Go ahead and pull this off. Nothing much to see, but one of the guys on turbomopar.com gave me one of the Mopar Performance. It's a naturally aspirated cam, actually. It's one of the purple cams, as they call it, because it's got the purple paint on there, I'm assuming used for identification purposes at the factory. And got that in there. We're going to see how that runs. It's a slider cam, and I know that these days, kind of like all the V8 guys have got the flat tappet issues and things. I know a lot of guys have been wiping out the slider cams on these motors, but I think we'll take a little bit of basic preventative maintenance there, run something with high ZDP or whatever, and we might be alright on that front. Unfortunately, I didn't get the installation of this because of the fact that I thought I left the camera at school, so that's okay. I'll go ahead and try and show you the water pump and the alternator for whatever excitement that can provide next. Alright, there she blows. Got an alternator in there along with the water pump that sits behind the alternator bracket. And even went ahead and cleaned that up a little bit, not highly polished or anything, but at least it looks halfway decent. We're ready to go on that front. Got the alternator already hooked up and what have you. Again, just got to set the timing. I've already got a video for that. If you haven't checked it out yet and you need to set the timing on one of these motors, go ahead and check it. Just make sure that you got the little dot on the pulley up there at the top, you know. Put it in the 12 o'clock position. And that's the only thing I really somewhat missed on that or glossed over a little bit. And that's pretty darn good. It's a quick and easy way to set the timing on these things. So, good to go. Got the fuel pump the fuel rail in there, along with the fuel pressure regulator. So just got to run the pump and the lines, and we're going to be looking good here. We'll get this turbo installed today, and you know, some of the other hard parts, maybe get the exhaust started. So we're just waiting on a fuel pump and run a wire to it, and we're basically good to go on that front.